let's do the preview for Forbidden Door.
All right.
So I am pulling up the card right now. There may be more matches announced this week.
Do we need to put out the obligatory PSA about people complaining about the length of this show because it's going to go the same 4 hours it always fucking goes?
Yeah, man.
It's going to start at 8. It's going to end at 12.
Yeah, get locked in. If you want to watch 4 matches on the pay-per-view, tons of commercials and various other bullshit, there's a promotion for you. This is not that promotion. Fuck off.
It's like,
if you need
you think it's a bad thing that there aren't commercials here look, man, if you don't care about this certain match, take your ass to get your refreshment, your beverage during the certain match you ain't this job about, and then come back. No problem solved. But other people are okay and don't have to right now, so they'll watch the whole thing. It's fine.
Yeah. So let's go.
Sorry, UK.
We'll go bottom to top. So we'll go MJF versus Hechicero. I guess I must have missed the whole thing where the EVPs put Hechicero in there.
Well, it was Brian Cage speaking on behalf of putting him in, so you might have missed it that way.
Gotcha.
Because you might have been like, "Why the fuck is Hechicero next to fucking Gates of Agony
random.
Brian Cage?" It makes no sense.
Like they say, we ain't hanging out with Swerve no more. That's all right. We gonna call our dog Hechicero. What's up? Like, hold on, what? Like, so MJF versus Hechicero. This guy's awesome. Hechicero. The couple times I've ever seen him wrestle.
Yep.
MJF seems to be on a one-man mission right now to try to
re-injure himself,
to re-endear himself to hardcore fans. I feel like this is very Cody-ish and transparent here. So he's going to try to tear the house down with Hechicero.
Look, man, I really like the MJF match that he had with MJF's match on Wednesday that he had with Roosh. He sold his ass off for him and he worked from underneath and everything. He can't be bumping like that and expect to. He's not Mayu Iwatani. He's not Darby Allin. He's not Kota Ibushi. Like the way he was bumping into those rails to the railing was ridiculous. The bump he took off the apron, the flip bump he took to the floor. I mean, that's a big bump for anybody. He just got back because of his shoulder. Don't take the fake head first into the railing thing because you have to bump into what? Your fucking shoulders, man. What are you doing?
Him and Hechicero should be a good match.
This should be less lethal, or not lethal, but this should be less impactful on his body than the Roosh match. He bumped like a crazy man for Roosh.
Like Hechicero's a rough rider, so
he is, but I don't think he's gonna throw him into the railing 4 times.
Yeah, Roosh is a different animal there. But this will be in his backyard, Long Island. I'm sure he'll be very over there, and cool match. If nothing else, so
it's some straight up, what do you call it? It's some straight up like Fire Pro shit.
Yep,
should be fun.
Yeah, Zack
Sabre if MJF is on his shit like he appears to be.
Yeah. I'm gonna take MJF obviously.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy.
Their last match was fun as hell.
Yeah, the battle of the guys that both had mid-card belts last year. That we everyone, the big argument was the TV title reign versus the international reign. What did people like better? I think depending on what company you watch, who you'll probably argue for. So I didn't watch all them Zack Sabre matches, and if you ask me between Zack Sabre and Orange Cassidy, I want to watch Orange Cassidy. Sorry, but these guys have been in matches. They were in matches I think they were in a 4-way last year. They were in the match faced off this week, that 4-on-4 party match that was awesome on Dynamite. I think
Mark Briscoe best on promos.
I think Zach's gonna win, but
again,
yeah.
But you mentioned that 8-man tag with all the crazy shit. Hey man, Mark Briscoe best on interviews.
Hey man,
Look, man, they
That's a
set it up
fool,
where
man.
like we know why you want to see us four together talking, and it ain't for Orange Cassidy and ain't for Kyle O'Reilly. It's to hear him lose his damn mind. Because bro, I don't know if you peep Kyle O'Reilly's facial expressions when Renee was asking Orange Cassidy stuff. He was like, "No, no one wants to hear Orange Cassidy. You don't give a fuck." And then Renee went to Mark, and all of a sudden, O'Reilly was like, "Yes, we want to hear these shenanigans, this tomfoolery, this ridiculousness, this absurdity." And bro, he's out of his mind, man. He's out of his mind.
Yeah, you saw they booked Zack Sabre Jr. and Kyle O'Reilly this week.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's for me.
Yeah.
That's just one of those for me. Yeah. Like, man, put the two super technical guys in there that's gonna kick each other, hit each other hard to point. That's a James Boyd match. Sorry, that's a well, I don't really call the Zack Sabre Jr. match the tough white man matches, but O'Reilly's in there, so it'll be rough. It'll be
Zack
rough.
Sabre Jr. with that dye job and that haircut, that man come out there looking like rugged Ronnie Garvin.
I thought you were gonna say he looks like a Ken doll that been left out in the sun to melt. But yeah, same.
Orange Cassidy, he's bulletproof. He can lose. I think here, if you want to be nice in New Japan.
I mean, they do like Orange or Zach. I think Orange gets his win back from Sabre.
We got round 1, Owen Hart Foundation tournament, first round match, Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. I think much in the way of like Bryan Danielson's year has been saying everything that CM Punk has ever done in this company, I'm going to do and do better. He's going to continue here with his Owen Hart tournament. He wrestles the great wrestler from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think this is going to kick the shit out of whatever the fuck they did last year.
You think of Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi match gonna be better than CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima? Yes, I think so too,
yes.
Rich. Yes.
And
I really like that fucking Punk and Kojima match last year. But look, man, it's not the same thing. It's not, and it's not necessarily fair to CM Punk to be doing that. But whatever. The nasty work is the nasty work.
Yeah. Oh man. Someone's saying check TK's Twitter. What did this man say?
Oh God,
is this a problem? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, I expect him to get hit with a puppy bomber. You just ain't gonna, you ain't gonna pin him with it. That's all.
Okay, pulling up Tony Khan's Twitter. Ooh, that's for me. Lady Frost versus Stephanie Vaquera on Collision.
Oh, wow.
Daniel Garcia versus The Butcher. Battle of Buffalo on Collision.
I saw Daniel Garcia cutting a VTR about, not a VTR, but like a vignette or something about Buffalo. They're coming back to Buffalo?
Yeah, they're there on Saturday for Collision.
Okay.
Yeah. Lady Frost has actually worked in CMLL, I believe, before.
Yes,
she does all them flips.
I think she's in one of those Grand Prix that they do in I want to say the fall of every year.
Got to follow from Lady Frost not too long ago, so shout out to Lady Frost. There's a BCC LIJ match booked for Dynamite as well. It's Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta versus Shingo, Teton, or Hiromu Takahashi. So that's going to be fun. Danielson will be on commentary. I assume they will make Tetsuya Naito will make an appearance. As far as this match, Danielson and Shingo is going to be fucking awesome. I think they're going to chop the holy living fuck out of each other. I'm anticipating a great match here. Like, and if they get time, who says they can't, run it up, to the 5,
Look, man, I can already see it now. Like when Shingo hits that man with that that combo breaking jab, and then goes for that short arm lariat, and then Danielson catches the lariat and puts that shit into a yes lock. I'm a pop. I already see it happening, man. This is gonna be great. Can't wait. They've been to do something real nice for your boy. Yeah.
At the AEW Women's World Championship match, Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. The much improved women's division continues to be on display. not only here but also in the Owen Hart tournament with Mercedes Moné with the TBS belt, the the Willow Statlander stuff, some of the stuff that is happening in the other levels, like people that are getting run like your Lady Frost and Queen Emanata and stuff like that. Like, but starts here with Tony and Mina, and they have really committed to this thing. There's, I think, the surface level of like the women kissing and all that stuff that is there with it. But I think underneath all that is Mina Shirakawa working really hard to get over on American television, speaking English, cutting promos, displaying her personality, trying to get a bag, it looks like. And knowing that she's being put in a big spot to deliver with Toni Storm, and I mean Toni Storm already knows what it's about with Mina, so I don't think they're gonna come half stepping. They're gonna see Mercedes and Stephanie on the same card. This is going to be awesome. Like I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, I expect a very good match at the least. And we'll see what happens as far as that match's outcome and everything in the road to potentially the winner of the Owen. I think all that ties together real nice. Nice little bow.
We need to see how much it costs to get Don Omar out to Long Island so we can get Mina the real Dancehall Kuduro, for the entrance and everything like that. I would love to see it. Will Washington, if you're listening. Who else? We got the TBS Championship and New Japan Strong title for title. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer. Mercedes showed up to Arena Mexico last week, and it went down, as Pimp C would say. Stephanie Vaquer headbutted her hard as fuck, and like they had a nice little brawl. And Stephanie was like speaking Spanish. She was like, "Down here we speak Spanish, motherfucker. Like don't come out here with that English, And it was on. So I'm excited to see this. I think, this is the time to get the belt that was made for Mercedes Moné back on Mercedes Moné.
Yep.
2-belt Mercedes. So she's walking around with 2 of them while Tony lives in a different world with the world belt. This, you got to say this is the best book women's division in America, don't you? While the other show walks around with Liv fucking Morgan,
look, man,
concerned with Dominic Mysterio.
Rich, we got
get the fuck out
Rich. We got Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer. We have Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. We have Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander, and then we just finished with Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa. And we seemingly are headed towards Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Yeah.
It's time to wake it up, y'all. Like we need these narratives to get real loud, Before it was the manager that everybody was just loving, right? And that was his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I will take that 100 times out of 100 over Liv Morgan and Bailey, who has a sixth of a knee left. No, absolutely not. Yeah, man. TNT ladder match. All the participants have not even been announced in this. So the people that we do have announced, this is going to be incredible.
Yep.
Konosuke
Dante's in it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Or I think he is. Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Leo Rush, I believe Dante Martin.
I mean, he was in that 8-man tag.
Yeah.
I thought he was in it.
Yeah. I think it was everybody in it except Sabre and Cassidy.
Okay.
So I don't know if Kyle Fletcher is in it or not, but we'll see. Whatever it is, it's going to be a fucking car crash. We already know what's going down. Yep. Takeshi's going to have to catch a bunch of motherfuckers. Mark Briscoe's lurking around in there.
He going to jump off something stupid too.
Yep. He's a ladder match, veteran, and Leo Rush has kind of been back into the fold. Yes. Takeshi might be able to throw that boy from Long Island to Brooklyn. Oh I think this has got Jack Perry written all over it, but it would be a nice little story to strap up Leo Russ and make Dante chase him. Would be nice, but I don't think they're going that way. I think this is Big Jack.
Yeah, I think this is Jack Perry's to lose.
IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match: Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito.
1 second, please. Dr. Larry said Leo's going to show up as Blackheart and get fired. I'm going to tell you this right now. Tony Khan,
ban that shit from the building.
Do not you check his bag at the door. Make sure there's no fucking face. There's no paint.
I better not see no fucking goo in your bag.
And then when he comes in, right, and he has no paint, you walk into Malachi Black and say under normal circumstances you're allowed to give him any paint. No, none.
No paint, no goo, no mist, none of that.
Keep all the mysticism to yourself.
Like Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. This is gonna be. Will Tetsuya Naito take the shirt off?
Did he take the shirt off against Jericho last year?
I don't think he did.
I mean, this is a title match.
Yeah.
So I guess 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing about the Naito fans is they love the part where he doesn't care, and it's like that's the part you don't get. When he doesn't care, like it actually happens in his performances too. It ain't just about the shirt; it's about what the shirt represents. Like this man be out here, like half-assing it to y'all, and y'all love him for it. You fucking marks, like tell that man work for his goddamn money.
Oh man. So he put his G1 title, his G1 slot on the line. If he loses, he's not losing.
That was just
that's fucking hilarious. Just start offering ridiculous shit. If you're Tetsuya Naito,
no.
If Jon Moxley wins, he can become leader of LIJ.
Rich, what telegraphs it more that Naito's winning? If he had just lost, or if New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2024 in the state of the country right now, in the state of promotion says, I will not be on the G1 tour at all. Close the fucking doors. Yes, he's winning the belt. He may as well put his career on the line.
Yeah.
That's how transparent this one was.
Bro, like what are the most ridiculous things that he could have offered? Like
I don't know.
Look, Dr. Lyric, could he put his hair on the line? Like if I lose, I'll cut my hair.
I can tell you this right now. The worst thing for pro wrestling would be if Tetsuya Naito shaved his head and you saw that light bulb. That hair is doing a lot to preserve the legacy and the aura and the mystique. If you knew what that man's head looked like without that hair, he is not tranquilo. That is a dork.
Oh, King of the North said Tetsuya Naito could have offered his baseball season tickets. If he lost, he could have offered the trademarks to LIJ. Who says that he has them?
Ooh, Zach in here. He said Naito the turkey. Book it.
Tetsuya Naito the turkey. Yikes! You gonna holler at MJF? So all right, I need to talk to somebody in the company. We need to have Okada walk by him backstage, like somehow, and be like, yeah, go win that belt or some shit like that. Like we need to have them cross paths. Be like, long time no see. Some shit like that. Or just say, bitch, like that, and then walk off.
That would be fucking hilarious.
I don't know if you do that before or after he wins the belt.
I tell you this right now. If there's a segment where those two walk to each other and Okada calls him a bitch, I may levitate off the fucking ground. I don't know what that'd be the greatest thing ever happened to the Japanese pro wrestling ever for me. Oh my god. Bro,
the full scale meltdowns that would incur. Oh my god. I need it. Look, I might have to send a message off.
Zach ain't here now. Zach ain't never come back in here if that happens. Zach ain't never come back on this chat if that happens.
Oh my god.
Look,
Yeah.
if that happens, I might pull. I might. What the show is on Dynamite, whatever that happens on Dynamite, right? I might drive to Oldsmar to go knock on Zach's door and start talking shit to him right there.
Just walk in and yank the Naito towel off the wall.
Just drive to 15 minutes at night on a weeknight.
Man.
It ain't that it don't bother. He says it don't bother me. It don't bother you. Is that I'm getting my shit off. That's what it's about. This ain't about you.
Last size Trish will become Denzel at the end of training days. You putting cases on all y'all. Yeah. Yeah. So Jon Moxley's time with the IWGP belt seems to be up. What an interesting time it was.
You gonna write the eulogy for it?
Absolutely not.
No. No. This is what we should do. Should we have asked Josh or Jeremy or both of them to write their own individual Rich Lotta level eulogies for the title reign, talking about how inconsequential this was and unnecessary this was. How this thing turned out. It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't worth a damn either.
It helped them in America, for sure, more than they would have. But yeah. Everything that everybody thought cool was gonna happen, like as far as like a young guy winning it or something like that. No, it was just to give Naito a small little break before the G1 and everything like that, and a couple months to lay low essentially for a couple tours.
Make sure you can't. Make sure he'll never have an ace reign. That's what this was about. Like, nah, can't trust him.
Yeah, so take it off for a couple months, win it back,
chaser. Let him chase some more,
and then bring it into the G1. That's kind of what it was. So like, I'm not really too excited for this match or anything, but it should be fine.
It has to be better than that last match.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Yeah, so like, I hope Naito like comes to play. None of the botching shit that I noticed Sonata is not booked, James, for none of this shit this year. What happened?
He's not the IWGP champion.
Did he not make a great impression last year?
Also, the Sonata and Jack Perry match went on 4th, right?
Yeah.
Something tells me that Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito will not go on 4th at Forbidden Door. Something tells me it won't.
Yeah. What else we got? No Ishii. I'm hoping for Ishii in the pre-show.
Hey, get Dr. Lariat out of here. Get him out. Get him out. Eject him. Throw him out.
Jake Lee. Look, I've never seen that brother wrestle. However, I have never heard anything positive.
I got a match for you to watch. It'll make you say, no. Get the fuck out of here.
Then the AEW World Championship match. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Quite frankly, one of the most anticipated matches in the history of the AEW Championship, I would say. Awesome face-to-face segment this week. Swerve making this shit personal, saying, hey, this ain't a game. I'll mention your child's name. I know you like that. Like, whatever you doing for everybody else, can't fake it with me. I see you. And Ospreay came up with some good lines. He said, while you had a hit Raw, I had a hit list, and named all the people that he went through. I think this whole thing like has been nothing but aces high, from that, face-to-face that they did the week before without the mics, and then the promo segment head-to-head. And, looking at it, these guys have been in competition with each other all year. So this is like kind of a crescendo in a certain way. And I think it just comes down to like, do you want Will Ospreay winning the title in Long Island at Forbidden Door? I don't think you do. And I don't know who hasn't figured it out yet, but it doesn't,
wait. And then after the show, when we do the review next week, we could say, you dumb motherfuckers really thought they were going to put the belt on Will Ospreay, the pay-per-view, before Wembley. Not just wait until Wembley. It couldn't be held off. He's such an irresistible force, so we had to put it on him before.
Look,
because we thought that would sell tickets more than him going for the title at Wembley.
Look, there's a tweet right there, or a set of trending topics. Meltzer, Hawk Tua, Will Ospreay. Back up, Dave. Back slowly away from the British man.
Hop off the knob.
let it lie for a moment. A moment. I think, the work that has gone into Swerve is turning him into
the beans and toast.
the legit superstar that AEW thinks he can be. He's moving quarter hours. When these guys are face to face, I'm sorry, James, it does not look like some overwhelming Will Ospreay majority out there. Like, I hear so many loud Swerve's house chants. I'm like, are people's TV knobs broken? Like, do they not hear what I'm hearing? Or what is that? Like, like, did they think this was just some kind of game? Or, did they have preconceived notions that turned out to all be wrong with the way that Swerve's been used?
I think it's the part where people need to see the marquee championship defense against an actual like top of the card guy, because obviously him beating Samoa Joe, Joe's a transitional champion. Him facing, him facing Christian Cage, that was also another thing where it's like we know this, that's a safe, easy, non-threatening challenger. We want to see you versus the Jon Moxleys of the world, who, by the way, that match still out there because Jon Moxley beat him in the Grand. I'm going to say the G1. I'm gonna say the Grand Prix, but in the Continental Classic last winter, like they want to see him versus the Moxleys. They want to see him against the Danielsons. They want to see him against the Ospreys, Pages, like we've seen. You know what I'm saying? They want to see that Omegas. They want to see, people want to see that, and then like once that happens, he gets the W over that caliber of esteemed wrestler in the promotion. I think people, it's easy to believe and buy in that he's not going to get the rug pulled from him. I think people are just waiting to get someone to believe in that way. Like they believe he can be champion, but can they believe he could be like, he can have a significant run with the belt as opposed to be another thing to get to whatever else is next after this, which everyone assumes is Ospreay, because that is going to be a eventual end game. That's a destination, or that's an end game, but we don't know if it's. But I don't know if people are so sure that it's not now as opposed to 13 months from now.
Yeah, I think the desperation for Will Ospreay for it all to be right now, I don't think it's now. I think this is the beginning, and we've mentioned that on the show before. I think this is the beginning. This is how you get people to be like, "Hey, man, this motherfucker's undeniable." Obviously, we know that shit. We know this fucking guy in the years of work that he's put in, and we know what he's looked like since he's rolled into this company.
Right, but it doesn't feel like in the traditional way of American Pro Wrestling where it's like you build somebody by them having feuds with people that people know as brand names, and they go back and forth and then eventually win and move on and move higher and higher and higher. It's more or less like he has these matches set up, and then he's cutting the big promo to hype the match. It's not like he's doing traditional television where it's like we go week after week where we go back and forth each other, or we beat each other up, or we interfere in each other's matches and we build blood feuds. Like he talks big shit that it has fighting words with people, like he's done, like he just did on Wednesday, but it's not the same thing as Hangman in Swerve. It's not the same thing as Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega, and I think that's the thing he's missing as far as growing roots in this company so far. And if you put the belt on him now,
he may never get them.
If he gets them, it'll be after he's already accomplished his chase, which
after
is like
you've wasted it.
Right. So it makes more sense to build the roots over the next 13 months and then get to it. And then, it just adds another layer or more layers of emotional depth to the chase of the journey than it would be if he were to just win the belt in 8 months.
Look, the out's already there.
8 months.
The out's already there.
I'm sorry, not 6 months. 6 months. Sorry.
They had Swerve mentioning the Don Callis family. Can Will Ospreay do it alone? You had the group looking kind of crazy out here. Like, yeah, man, is this whatever? Like, Ospreay still has to make people like in the buildings. He's over as fuck. Can't deny that.
Right.
But what you have to do is like if you believe Ospreay is somebody who you want to go to in the future with this thing, you need to fall in love with him. You need to learn to live and die with him.
And people are already doing that, but it's another thing, and it is very similar to like the decision where we're like, if you beat Cody now, you better damn well have him win the next year. Right? Like if he fails now, he can't fail again. And that was the thing.
I don't even think Will's at that point.
What the fuck are you doing? You don't have a better story than Cody winning the belt at WrestleMania 40.
I don't even think Will's at that point to like Cody equal to WrestleMania 39, where it's like, yeah, you could fucking strap him up right now. Like, I don't even think he's at that point. Like, I think by the time we leave Wembley this year, that's like when we're rounding that A. Like, I feel like next year's Wembley is like, there's a perfect time period to turn this guy into whatever the fuck you're going to turn him into. To do emotional stories, to make multiple the people that love the great matches and stuff like us and people that listen to this show and stuff like that. You're already in on Will Ospreay, right? But the regular motherfucker like that, I was at a show in Atlanta, his AEW TV debut when he wrestled Kyle Fletcher in that 5-star match, and I'm sitting next to these two guys like, you know, regular dudes or whatever from the street or whatever, like dudes dressed up, they got chains on, whatever. They had never seen Will Ospreay before, and they were watching him, and I could tell the comments they were making. They had never seen him. They weren't down in the match or anything, but they're like, "Why does he keep turning around like that?" Like, because they didn't know the Os Cutter was coming or whatever. And then when they saw it, they were like, "Oh shit, that's crazy" or whatever. Like, and I was like, when you convert these people, you need more time to convert more people like that. I think.
Because there are already people, because of his style, that are not going to be non-believers because people want want wrestling to be like it was when they were a child, and his wrestling is for people that are going to be wrestling in the future. Like he is the trendsetter. He's one of the trendsetters. So like that's gonna take a lot for people to overcome to then buy into him the same way it was for Shawn, because it was the size and it was all the crazy bumps. Or it was Brett and he's too small, or he's too technical, he's not charismatic enough. You're gonna have to get people a groundswell of support behind him. And I believe, like, also given his history in New Japan, like this ain't just a Tony Khan thing. Will Ospreay wants the big baby face Chase. He set that up for New Japan, and then they walked away from it because they felt like he was going to leave, and he did. But like, the big chase where like he finally does topple Okada. He finally does topple he finally does topple Omega and all that kind of stuff. He was setting it all up 2 years ago, and he's now here. So like he's trying to do that again in a different way with people that are going to be his contemporaries. Like, so it's going to be MJF. It's going to be Swerve. It's going to be Hangman. It's going to be Omega again. It's going to be Danielson again at some point. Like all over this next 2 years,
all these guys are gonna
all this stuff.
Like the top of this card is, I think, so locked in between Hangman, Swerve, Ospreay. Like these are the guys, MJF, that are going to like face each other and have these like pivotal battles, not only for the generation but for themselves, and then like, you know, kind of writing what history says about them. And they all have great people to work with, like each other. Like this is like another potential golden age, like essentially how New Japan was in the mid 2010s. Like,
I don't know if I don't necessarily know if they're as deep as that time, but at the top, if you say the main eventer slots is like all of them are all guys that can be potential all-time guys, then yeah.
Like, and I think Swerve wins here, and I think he wins in impressive fashion, and this is like where people have to shut the fuck up, kind of.
So I think the match is gonna be phenomenal. The one thing for me that I wish that Ospreay did not say in the promo, the one thing I thought the story was gonna come down along to Ospreay's gonna empty out everything. Swerve's gonna kick out all of his best shots, and then because of the story and playing it from the Danielson match with the Tiger Driver being, he basically, I'm never gonna do it. He is gonna have a crisis of conscience of going up for it and then using it, and then and then he's not going to be able to do it, and then Swerve is going to take advantage of that and prove that he doesn't have, in fact, the killer instinct just yet. So he's going to put him away because he couldn't pull the trigger on that one particular time, and Swerve actually does have a kill shot. But then he said it in the promo about like whether or not he'll use it or not, and he can still beat him without it. And now it makes me question whether or not they're going to do that. But I thought that would have been a great story. That's a story on display while they're having their match of why Ospreay wasn't
so maybe
he's trying
to tell and then
show. This is going to be his like what do you call it? This is going to be his storytelling out for why he didn't win, right? And this is like the stumbling process of like the growth of over time, where it's like, hey man, this thing happened to Danielson or whatever else, but like it's the wrestling business. You got to drop a motherfucker on their head to win. You got to drop a motherfucker on their head to win. Be like Tam Nakano, drop her straight down on her shit and get your belt, and get your moment. But
like Swerve's gonna show him he's a killer. Like and
right, that's what I thought. And that's what Swerve was telling him 2 weeks ago. And I thought that was gonna be the whole thing. It's like you ain't that you were the assassin. You hurt somebody really bad that you respect, and now you think that like you can't be yourself, and now the journey is to go find what you were or be at rest with like the part where like this is what it takes. And I thought he's gonna have to learn over the next 13 months to get back to this point and redeem himself. But once he said it that way, I was like, I don't know if they're gonna go with that, but I would have loved that they did.
Yeah. I think
because that's one of those fatal flaws. There's like you got to overcome that to then reach your finish off your chase.
It's gonna be a brave booking move, whatever they do. On this because there's an argument the other way too that I'm not making right now because that's not how I feel about it, right? But you gotta think about the momentum this guy has come in here with, and recognize the fan support and see how he's hit the ground running. You got that, and that's not stuff I'm trying to take off the table. What I'm trying to display is that I think there's more on the table for everybody. You still get to continue forward with Swerve with this year, with going into Blood and Guts that he's talked about on TV, with the month of July and needing to fill that with people that he may, still have, matches with, people that have wins over him, like a Moxley or something like that. Then you look at the Owen Hart tournament, that looks like Danielson. So like he's wrestled Danielson once and Danielson beat him. So like, does he want that back? Like there's there's stuff set in motion like all around this place. It's a lot more organized than a lot of grifters would have you believe. And it's been organized for, like essentially like a road to send both of these guys. This is a crossroads with these guys right now. I feel like
this is one match and moment that they're going to come back to and then have recalls off the match that they had before. Yeah, similar to how the Omega and Ospreay.
Yeah,
similar to all the other great matches that have sequels and trilogies. Yeah,
yeah. So
you can't just rematch City the thing. This ain't that company for that.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a great show. Should be. I'm looking forward to see what else is added, and it's in Long Island, so I'm not going or anything. But it would have been cool to go to this one, but I didn't do that. I was hanging this weekend. I actually